Today, we got a very popular list that's running very well right now in March of the Machine on Magic the Gathering Arena, Grixis Midrange. And this particular list is a metagame champion that I'm excited to bring to you here today. So thank you for tuning in. As always, appreciate that support. Couple of key items here. If this is your first time or returning, as always, we do a breakdown of the list. We go into sideboarding since this is a best of 3 list, and then we'll go play that competitive Magic today, both in best of 1 and best of 3, because we like to do that. And then last but not least, those timestamps are available to you down below. If you happen to have a question or comment throughout today's episode, let me know, and feel free to come say hi in the Discord server with the fellow communities. Now, with that, let's go ahead and break down Grixis Midrange here. This has become a very popular list. If you pay attention to Friday Night Meta weekly series, this is certainly one of the big ones to be competing with. And with the recent metagame events, a very popular list that was played. Now, this one was ran by our friend Manitz. I'm probably destroying that. Manitz. I probably destroyed it. I'll say it twice. And I apologize, but congratulations on taking it down. And also your additional shout out to Andrew Kuno. So congrats there on running this list successfully. Now, a couple things that I want to break down with this one in particular. A couple of the key items that you do see moved around quite a bit right now is the number of Chandra Hope's Beacons here. Additionally, Hidetsugu and Kieri. I probably killed that one as well. I love saying my English is amazing. And Make Disappear. So a couple of these ones, and also Braid I'll throw in there. These ones really get shuffled around in the list. Also Gix's Command in terms of what really becomes main board on the direct kind of best of 1. You might see more of these, and less of some of these other things here in Gix's as an example in terms of how the setup is for some of this particular list and makeout. So I just wanted to cover that quickly. This deck has gained a ton of power with the March of the Machine release. We've got this guy right here, Hidetsu and Kieri. When it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards, put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. When it dies, exile the top card of your library. Target opponent loses life equal to its mana value. If it's an instant or sorcery card, you may cast it without paying for its mana cost. So there is some strategy on how you re-rack those things, what you're putting into your hand, all that fun stuff that you could think about if this guy's going to get nuked as soon as it drops. You can remove it as an example. I love that it's an ogre, demon, dragon, legendary creature. There's a lot of things in there as well. And then additionally, Chandra Hope's Beacon is just insane now. Very hard to remove for sure. The +2, add 2 mana in any colors is big. On top of that, it's got exile the top 5 cards of your library until end of your next turn. You may cast instant or sorcery spell from among those cards. So again, lots of dig value that you can go find, and then deals X damage to each of up to 2 targets. So lots of things in terms of control on the board. We got Gix's Command in this particular one as well, and kind of your core capacity that's been there primarily with us through Grixis Midrange to begin with. But really, when we look at us shifting more towards that higher end, and some of the late game things here. So we just really need to be thoughtful in terms of how we shut down our opponents on early game, particularly aggro lists, and then figuring out how we want to play around our opponents and survive. So that's the strategy objective of this list, really shutting down that early game, getting to that mid-range game, taking control, coming home with these ones right here. Lots of decent win conditions in terms of that. Some of them run the direct 10 to the face damage that you can do as well. So good considerations there. Now we're going to move into boarding. Boarding I break down into 3 areas: aggro, mid-range, and late game. Obviously Grixis Midrange is a mid-range list. Some examples of aggro: mono white aggro, you might hit mono white soldiers, you might hit Azor soldiers. There's also mono green in that space potentially, and mono red burn, host of other things. So in that space, depending on what you're playing, generally you're going to remove creatures. So Flame Blast is great, Cut Down's great, Parasitic Grasp is great as well. 3 damage, you gain 3 life. Nothing like a drain. That can be very helpful. Let's see here. Barrage, Lithomatic Barrage. English is good. Parasitic Grasp again. are all very, very good. When you move into the mid-range list, again, similar in terms of killing creatures. Now you might want to start thinking about running Disdainful Stroke. Here you can get rid of your mirror match on all this stuff on the top end. As an example, the gate's very helpful. Saheeli can be something that you may want to consider. You may tap an untapped artifact you control. If you do, draw a card. Again, pinging back with Bankbuster, or also getting a flyer in there for pinging can be helpful as well. Just some considerations: to rest, to pull things out early, Siphon Insight, starting to take your opponent's cards, being able to play those, and you may want to start thinking about Invoke Despair, because you're going to take a lot of stuff off the board: a creature, an enchantment, and a planeswalker, all very, very powerful. Now as we move to late game, you're going to want to pivot. Instead of kind of the direct damage stuff and cut downs, you're going to start playing the Disdainful Strokes, the negates for sure. Saheeli can be in there, duress. Also, the Siphon Insights are going to be very, very good for you. And then on top of this, Invoke Despair might be something that you could consider depending on what your opponent's playing. If you run into the Esper Super Friends list that you saw in the last video, that gives you a good idea to run this as an example. So things to think about swapping out: again, more control when you need direct kill to control, as an example, on high level. Most of your stuff on the top end here, they're probably going to maintain a lot of this stuff. It's going to be swapping out some of the more cheaper spells, I would say, in terms of how you want to think. Again, shifting from top end of the curve down to the lower end, and vice versa, depending on what you're lining up against. All right, so now that we've covered the strategy objective of this list, kind of key considerations, components, covered your boarding here, let's go play that Magic that we love to play. All right, so we are going to go play Standard Best of 1 first, and then we'll shift over. This one, Bant Double Strike, I encourage you to check that one out. It was a lot of fun. And other decks and videos, obviously. Here we go. Grixis. I'll be quiet now, but I gotta talk about this list and narrate the gameplay. So again, in terms of best of 1, this is a little bit more on the top end. Grixis Command is going to be helpful. Something that might not always be prevalent in terms of what we're playing in Standard Best of 1 in a more dedicated, focused list. That can certainly be helpful or a problem for us. We will keep this for now. I don't have direct kill except for this guy, but Bankbuster in here early can really help us. So we'll see what our opponents are going to play, and then we'll move around from there. We got a really nice, healthy start in terms of lands. So it could be a mirror match. I'm actually going to play this first. So here we can make a couple of considerations if we'd like to. I can play my guy in as well if I want to. If they want to remove this, they can. The problem is if they are playing mid-range, they could take him out with their Corpse Appraiser. I'm actually going to save it and take the risk. And instead of trying to get in here and totally going to town, I'm actually going to do this and attack in, because I don't have anything that's going to kill me now, and get the damage in while we can. Now, if it is a true Grixis, now we need to think about how we're going to play around some of these things. It's not Mardu. Okay. We got a little bit of a different game on our hands then. So that is what I was thinking was going to happen. That's also what I was hoping was going to happen. And we may need to kill that, which is probably what I'm going to go do. Question is 2 or fewer, that hurts us. We do kind of want to play that though, so we can play this next turn. I'll take this thing off for now. Not really what I wanted to do, but we'll leave that for now. Yep, that's what I was worried about, Atroxa. Ah. So good news is we'll pull this thing off. Again. Use my corpse appraiser here. Let's go dig. We want a kill spell. Ooh. Or we can play another one of these. Not bad. They're going, this person got rid of the Grixis van. Now we could have kept one because we had this guy already. And that would have helped us get the Fable off. But obviously that's not what happened. We decided to keep this primarily in case they kill it. Was at least my thought process there. Okay, so draw 3, put 2 cards into our library. Ordering will be done in the next step. So we can put this one into our library. And we can put this one into our library. Submit to. We want to put select an order of the cards. The first card in the order will become the one on top, bottom, top, top, bottom. Done. That's going to hurt us really badly. Now again, we didn't have an instant or sorcery card, which is a problem. That could be an issue by playing that one there. Take the damage. So what they're going to do is they're going to leave it on the other side here, which is why they didn't do anything. We're going to run into a problem with this particular thing here. So here's what we do. We will draw 2. That was not the right play. Too much damage on the draw 3 and then the shuffle back in became a problem. Gix would have been the better one to keep because we could have done this and that. And would have gave us a little bit of a different option. I was hoping to time that a little bit better. Unfortunately, that worked against us. So anyway, all right. On to our best of 3. Unfortunately, did not take down the best of 1 match. Let's go ahead and move over now to best of 3. Rain or shine, as we like to say. All right, here we go. Dun dun dun. What are we gonna hit in our best of 3 lineup here today? Gotta recover from that best of 1 match, unfortunately. Did not go the way we were hoping. Alright, here we are, in the game. Boz it is. Alright, we're playing first. Oh my gosh. Ay, ay, ay. Ooh. Just don't wanna see it that way. It's a little rough. Really. A little rough. Ooh, did we hit soldiers is the question. Don't know. No, we did not hit soldiers. So they could slip on that. Question is, do we try it? I think we try it. Yeah, there's the slip. Ah! Cut down would have been the better choice for us. They may try and draw that right away, too. Ooh, they did not. Invoke is not going to work there. Take that one off. Now again, Gix could be something. We'll see. Getting this guy on the board is going to be big for us, though, because now we can pull something out and go grab a card that can help us. Ooh, here we go. Question is, do we want 2 chances at this? They may have a slip in their hand, though. We could kick this guy. Well, we don't want to kick him because we can dig, too. Alright, so now we're faced with a choice. We're faced with the choice. We can actually kill this thing if we need to. Or we can do this. Destroy each creature with power 2 or less. Prowess is going to kick in. So what will happen in this case is each opponent sacrifices a creature with the highest power among creatures they control, which is what we need to play. And let's do this in case they do have something else. So we'll wipe the board. If they have the slip, then we're in trouble. We'll give it a chance, though. Oops. They helped me a little bit. We're good there. And we're still alive. Alright, they're completely tapped out now, which is really good for us. And now we got 2. Let's get this guy out of there. We'll grab this. So either Corpse Appraiser, there you go, or go for Throat. That was a slip. Can do that on the drawing. And say they might push something back. That's fine. Survive, survive, survive. There, shut them down. Woo! Shieldred. There we go. All right. So Siphon Insight could be very valuable for us here. Duress could be very valuable for us here too. Negate is going to be helpful as well. There's a lot of good stuff. Grixis Command ended up saving us. This card is very expensive against a cheap spell card. I'm going to keep like one of those in. I'm gonna grab that. I like the Duresses. I like the Negate. The question here though, see, because we're able to maintain with this, I feel like what I want to do maybe also is just get rid of that monk. Is gonna be the hardest piece here. I think this is what we stick with for now. Try that. Too many slips. I'm probably going to go to more counter magic too. At least that's what I would expect. We can sit on this. It's okay. This thing is super nice. I like Invasion of Gobakhan. See what they picked though. Yeah, that's what I would have probably done as well. Now the question is, if we don't take value, which we don't have to do, we can play this. And just get something on the board. At least that's my thought here. And then we can decide on how they're going to play and progress. Which, if they use everything up, which is what they did, that's a lot. So now they need to make sure that they have 2 available still here. I'll do the same thing. There we go. So they didn't have a counterspell, so we could have got Shieldred on there. We can live with that. I'm going to expect a counter. More value still on this. I really want to get that on. There it is. Here we go. Let's play this one first. Right. Might have it. Yeah, there they go. Now, the good news is we have 3 kill spells here. Essentially is what we have. I get rid of 1. There we go. I'm hanging on to that in case I want to pitch something on the next one. Be honest. Then we can make some of these decisions. But they're going to need a lot to protect their board here. We'll cycle it off anyway. Go. And honestly, we're not gonna do anything there because we got a ton of control now. And ideally, we will have a kill spell available to us. We'll get a 1/1. Depends on what they're going to go through here. Day 2. They need 2 slips. There, we got him. We got him on the stack and took it down. Super fun matchup there. Yes, absolutely. We loved it. We loved it because we won. We won. That's right. No, I'm just kidding. It's a good matchup lineup. We ended up getting the card advantage and the advantage on the stack there. That put our opponent in a very bad position, awkward position in terms of some of those counters. Good tries to kind of maneuver there. We just had enough things to absolutely take it off the board, which was nice. So let's go ahead and pull it all back together here. A super fun list that took down the standard metagame challenge 7-0. Beautiful out of the gate here by our friend again here. Let me pronounce it. Manents. I like it. There you go. Probably killed it, like I said at the beginning. And a kudos to Andrew Kuno as well for a lovely Grixis list. Thank you for the upgrades. And also not thank you for the upgrades if you don't like playing against this one, because it's certainly a very viable list that has been played quite a bit, and numerous amounts of variations. This particular one for us today worked out well, and we talked about some of those changes. All in standard best of 1, we did lose our match, unfortunately. Best of 3, we played an Azorus kind of spells list there with Monastery Monk, which is great. Super fun card, and we had a blast, and we're able to take that one down against our opponent and made it work with the big W here today. So thank you as always for tuning in. I appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subs as we continue to grow this community, and also hats off to the members as always for that additional support. I really appreciate it. On top of that, to bring this all home, please feel free to come swing by the Discord server. Great community that we have there as well. A fun, lively one to boot. And other great ways to stay connected here on the channel. We got a ton more Magic the Gathering content on March of the Machine and other stuff here headed your way as always, and other great things that you can check out on the channel. With that, stay tuned because we got more, like I said, headed your way soon. And until next time, you stay safe, you take care. Mythras out of here.